Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Planterview. Today we'll be inviting our next host, Simon Capote. Alright, it'll take a moment. How you guys doing so far? How's your weekend? How's the weather? Where you guys at? In Florida, it's 70s. It's feeling a little chilly for us, not not for many people. But yeah, it's all let me actually see. I think Simon accepted right here. Invite him. His page is at Gulf Coast Succulents. So take a moment, make a follow, and follow his content. He has really good content about succulents primarily. He has also a few other plants that he follows. Hey Simon, I don't know if it went through. If you want to give it a try. No, let's see. Let's try it again. Did you get accepted? There you go.
Hello.
Hey Simon, how's it
Everything
going?
good? And you, my friend?
Happy Saturday, man.
Happy
Happy Easter
Saturday.
too.
Yeah, happy Easter.
Thank you, thank you. How's your Saturday so far?
Everything good? I worked yesterday, but I got up nice and early and I got to get the day started.
Nice, nice, nice. It took me a while to wake up, but my daughters, I have two daughters. The oldest one woke up super early and she
Yeah.
trying
Nah.
to watch TV. So jump in right in the bed and start watching TV.
Yeah, they wake you up. They open your eyes all right for you.
Yeah, I start jumping on the bed.
I got you. That's funny.
Hey, so
Oh,
thank you so much for joining. This is the 10th episode of the Plants Review. So kudos to you
thank you, thank you.
for
Yeah,
being the 10th.
I was really excited when you sent me the invite. I love connecting with everybody that enjoys plants. The plant community is awesome. Everybody's super nice. So I was actually really excited when you sent me the invite.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, I mean, there's a lot we got to learn, right? There's a lot of information that hasn't been shared in videos, and it's easier to just get them out in conversations. And I think, you've had your experiences with taking care of plants, with, how to, propagate them, and especially succulents. There's such a unique type of plants. I think, you as a specialized person with
Yeah.
succulents can share some of your experiences and share some of your your journey of how you've come about you know with
Yes.
the
So
love of
honestly, succulents, I think they're awesome, awesome plant. Just mainly because they're very resilient. They're tough plants.
yeah
Yeah. And I, my family, they've always liked plants a lot, but when I moved into my own house, I'm trying to set up the tripod.
yeah
When I
no
moved
worries.
into my own house, I didn't have too many plants, but now I've got a lot of them. But the main thing with the succulents when I started is that I was so impressed by how they you can grow a whole plant off of a single leaf, and I think
I
that
know.
just fascinated me, and I was like, okay, I gotta really go in on this. And ever since then I've had more and more.
Yeah, so something about the word too, like
Mhm.
the fact that it's succulent is like feels like something that you want to use.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
They almost look fake. Everybody is some people see them and then they think, "Oh, that plant is fake," because it looks like such a big, fat, perfect flower. So,
uh-huh.
um, yeah, that's a. They just look awesome. They're very very different. And something I see certain people say is that succulents they're all the same, or they're some of them are dull, but when you really get into them, you can there's so many different varieties and colors, and yeah, g-
And how many succulents do you have so far?
a lot. I would say probably hu- each so I have all the trays here. This is my propagation side. I have pretty
Nice.
much two sides to my backyard. I'm adding like a third, but this side is the propagation side, and this is more of the display side.
Wow.
So
That's
I
insane. You have what,
and
300 of plants right there.
yeah, imagine each of these trays they hold 10 4-inch pots, so that's already probably hundreds right there. So, but
And
yeah,
how many of those have you started with one, and all of a sudden, that's the one that started it all, and you created and propagated multiple plants from
yeah.
it. Uh,
So a lot of them I've started with. I would always buy a healthy mother plant, and
mhm.
I'll grow from that one. And but the one of the first plants that I started with that kind of got me really into succulents was the Echeveria Dusty Rose. I'll show you one of them.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
but the Echeveria Dusty Rose, it's a really really pretty rosette plant, and actually some of these are still the original ones that I started with like 2 years ago. So
Oh, I have that one.
yeah, and these they when I started with it, it it was just such an impressive plant. When I first saw it, I was really impressed by how big they get, how nice they were. Um, and then I started propagating some of the leaves from it, and that's where I really started getting doing it more often. And
Huh.
now I always when I go to Miami, I'm here in Cape Coral, but
Okay.
I'm originally from Miami. I always buy kind of in bulk over there, and
Huh.
with the intention of multiplying them here. And I used to just buy anything, but now I have so many that I'm only looking for what I don't have.
Specifics, so
Yeah,
something more rare
yeah.
at times. That's awesome. And where do you go in Miami?
I
I want to go there.
Isaac Farms. I,
Isaac Farms.
Isaac
What?
Farms, number one in Miami for succulents. They're
I
amazing.
need to follow them. I need to
Yeah,
follow them and go.
yeah.
And what are their prices on succulents?
They're
What's a good price?
pretty much a wholesale nursery. So, um, unless it's a very special, like a variegated plant or something, if it's in a 4-inch pot, it's $4.25, and if it's in a
Okay.
6-inch pot, it's $6.50. So it's when I go there, I always spend like $40, $50, because you could get so much bang
Your
for your
hands are
buck.
full.
Yeah, um and Miami and Homestead, they're just uh, above everybody else when it comes to the agriculture.
Yep.
Being on the west side of Florida, there's nothing like Homestead here. So
Yeah.
I really take advantage of every time I go out to Homestead.
I should call myself lucky because that's where I live.
Yeah,
Homestead, Florida.
yeah, exactly. I used to live by there in Country Walk is where I was born and raised.
Yeah.
So by the
Yeah.
zoo.
By the zoo. Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah. We
and
go there every time.
yeah, and
Yeah.
on it.
It's growing a lot. it's a lot of new communities and stuff.
Yeah,
It's
no,
changed.
for sure.
Hey,
We're about to when we bought our house here, we're thinking of going either to Homestead or here, but just mainly here with the it was the same price but difference in actual land.
yeah.
That's why we moved to the West Coast. But even now, it's getting comparable to Miami. It's pretty expensive here.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because Miami's getting expensive.
yeah. No,
It's
that's
way expensive.
yeah,
5 room, 4 room is like somewhere around 500, 600
yeah.
thousand, probably 6.
I
You know.
feel like here it's almost the same, but a comparable house here to one in Miami is here is like $100,000 less, which is obviously a lot. But
Yeah.
but even then, a few years ago, it was way different.
Of
I know
course.
people that bought a 3 bed, 2 bath house with a pool for like 150, like in 2014, and now the houses are comparable. They're like 500,000 or around there. So yeah,
The investment in that, and it paid well, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'm really happy with having gone to the West Coast. It's really nice, nice area in general, and still Florida. We're blessed with the good weather, and
Yeah.
it's nice out here.
Awesome. Hey, so for plants, I mean, is it different when it comes to weather from Homestead versus Cape Coral, where it gets
Um,
maybe colder, maybe overnight
the
gets more freezing temperatures, not freezing, but
The
close to set.
only thing I've noticed here really is that we have what I feel like we have more of a coastal breeze because
Hmm.
of less infrastructure really since there's so many buildings in Miami and there's higher buildings, and I feel like some of it gets blocked out, and here since there's not really any like skyscrapers like downtown Miami, um
Right.
there it's more just urban, and there's empty lots, there's just houses that are low lying. I feel like it's much windier here. It's we get a nice breeze.
Okay. And has it affected the way you take care of your plants? Like,
Um,
you
it
put them inside every now and then, or
er, the rains the same as in Miami. The torrential rainstorms we get every now and then. I have to put some of them in. I kind of have so many. I have to pick and choose. Like, okay, let me get this one. I really care about this one. He's been getting too wet, and stuff like that. But for succulents. You want good ventilation,
Mhm.
um, and to keep them dry, to keep pests away.
Okay.
Um, where I really struggle with is in the summer wet climate.
Yeah.
That's the difficult part here because they just get too wet. It'll rain like 6 days a week, and
Yeah. And then your stands, it'll make them fall if there's a lot of
yeah.
wind.
No, thankfully I have them secured pretty well.
Nice.
I've pretty much to every post I've secured on all of them. It's super solid. But if it is a hurricane, I gotta put it down
Right.
for sure.
At least to floor level, right?
Yeah. Well, what I'm planning on doing, thankfully, when I was in Hurricane Ian, which was the last big hurricane, I
Hmm.
didn't have as many plants. I still had a lot, but I've kind of taken it up a level. It's been a year since then. Um, so then I was able to bring in all my stands and into my house, and I had a neighbor help me out, and we brought all the plants inside my house, put them on the stands, kind of still,
Hmm.
and I shuttered everything up, but now it would be much more work. And but I would think of the similar thing. Maybe put them in the garage. I'll set up the stands kind of the whole same way that they are now,
Okay.
but in the garage. But it'll just take a lot of moving back and forth. But I hope, thank God, that we haven't had any terrible, terrible weather. They
Oh,
handle pretty strong storms.
yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah,
They're resilient in that
yeah.
sense. That's awesome. So let me ask you a question. When it comes to succulents, what's your schedule on watering, and also as far as lighting is concerned, like are they pretty? Do they change? They're easy to adjust to any light conditions.
The
After some time.
um you want with my watering schedule, I usually water every 2 to 3 weeks. They're very forgiving.
Hmm.
It's easier to water them less and they bounce back than to overwater them and then they rot and you have to then chop it and make sure and you save it if it's rotting.
Hmm.
But it so I say every 2 to 3 weeks because temperatures are really important with the succulents. In high temperatures like we have here, uh
Especially during summer.
yeah, so that's when I will water more frequently
Hmm.
because they're really drying up and you'll get beautiful colors because they get very stressed out.
Uh-huh.
Um, but you'll start dropping leaves. They'll look a little less nice because they have to instead of use the water you're giving them, they have to kind of pull from those leaves that hold water.
Yeah.
So every 2 to 3 weeks is my watering schedule. I just with all plants you got to walk around, keep an eye on them, look closely, see who's struggling, who's not, and then that's how I water them.
Nice. And then as far as the shading, do they need shade, or are they okay with
They
24 hours, but 8 hour?
they yeah, this section here in the back they have full sun all day. So my house the sun is from east to west. So this whole section gets sun all day. The which they can tolerate full sun. The good thing is that since I have it in my lanai,
Hmm.
I have the screen, and the screen provides a little bit of a filter for
Okay.
the harsh sun. Yeah, just ever so slightly, and it helps it out a lot, so they don't get scars or stuff like that.
Okay.
But they're really strong plants, so I have a lot of them in full sun, and if it's not full sun, you want them to have at least 6 hours of sunlight or 5 hours. Um, I think anything less than that, they start getting long and leggy. And when you see very nice succulents, you want them compact and full.
Got it. So yeah, no, I've seen that. I've seen like the memes where people just they poke fun at people that say, "Oh, look at my succulent is long and
Yeah,
is,"
yeah,
and
exactly.
like they're very proud of it, and of course the ones that know about the plants
Yeah,
poke fun at them. And it's
I
a no joke that only the people that know it.
I was seeing an influencer, however, he had a video of his bedroom, and then it had one succulent in the corner on his nightstand, and it looked like a mile long. And I was like, "Oh my goodness, give that guy a grow light!" And everybody's talking about, "Oh, a nice house, a nice video, and stuff like." I just noticed that one plant. I'm like, he's struggling over there. Uh,
How funny. So, I mean, for those, I would again. I'm also kind of falling into it too,
nice,
but some
nice.
I've part of the learning curve that I've had with them is and through videos is cut the long parts, replant them, and more
Hmm.
in now, so you can see how on the top, for example, I
Yeah,
have
that
like
exactly.
1,000.
Sometimes you're scared to cut, but when you cut, you get a lot of growth, and it grows very full when you start cutting them. And
Crazy. I didn't expect it to be this cool.
yeah, the I was gonna say the redness on the paddle plant looks great. It looks like it's getting a lot of good sun. That's what you want to see. You want to see
Which one?
the paddle plant. Yeah, that one.
Okay, cool.
Those red borders, you want to see nice red that's sun stress, and when you have that it pretty much it, everybody thinks of stress as bad, but this is just kind of something natural for succulents. They get lots of sun and they change colors to absorb that sun more effectively or to resist it
Ah,
more. But it looks really nice. That's how you want it to look. Get nice red borders and compact.
nice. So tell me more about the ones that I have here. What others
I
do you see?
I was gonna say I wanted you to zoom in on it's so what you have there is a paddle plant, which is a type of um oh man, I'm forgetting it now the name, but the simple name is a paddle plant, but a ghost plant and a sedum adolphi is the orange one.
This one.
Yeah, I wanted you to zoom into the sedum. I don't know if there was any white flecks on the tip there, or
Let me see. You tell me.
no, on the orange one, the one below that.
Like this one right here.
Yeah. Okay. No, and the one next to there. No, the other side. That one. There you go. Is that did you put the sulfur on there? The rooting powder?
I put nothing.
Oh, I got you. I wasn't sure. But you cut that recently then?
It's been like I want to say maybe 3 months.
Oh,
Three.
okay.
Yeah,
I got you.
it's been a while.
Yeah,
And now I gotta start cutting them, put them in soil, and maybe hoping more come out.
yeah. What I do with a lot of my props is I'll cut them and I take them since in California where it's very dry, you can cut them and put them into soil. You know it's not going to rain for 10 days or however. So they just grow. But here, since it's so humid, I cut them and I'll leave them on a table and I'll just let them sit for 7, 10 days and then I'll plant them. And in 7 to 10 days, they'll have grown already pink roots.
Ah,
Yeah. And they're,
air,
yeah, just
no, no soil.
pulling water from the air, from the humidity.
Ah,
And I've I've learned that most of the time I do it every now and then still that I'll cut it and I'll put it in soil. If I feel confident about it, or if I have plenty of that plant. But if I really want to get a good uh you want to callus it well, so there's less chance of rotting. And in Florida with our humidity, it's much more chance of rot. I'm gonna I'll show you kind of some what I have here. So
yeah, and also maybe a few of your first succulents.
so
But
here is one that I chopped the head off,
okay,
and um and what I just did with that head is I just put it here and I just let it sit, and
yeah,
I won't. It doesn't have any roots.
hmm,
I'll check the other one maybe, but I kind of let it sit and I let them get just air, and you'll see this one is already throwing roots. You see
okay.
let's see, you see these pink roots here.
Yeah, how crazy! That's
So
epic.
yeah, so then and that's just them pulling from the air really.
Hmm. Huh. That is
So
epic. The luck
I'll
you do here in Florida, right? Go to Texas,
yeah, right.
it's not gonna work as good.
Exactly. In California, really, they always say just cut them and put them back in the soil. But it's so wet here that when I used to do that, I would realize I would get a lot of them that would rot and they would have issues, and then I
Oh
would
wow.
have to take them out of the soil, like maybe cut it some more so I can try to heal it again. But yeah, here like I have just some sitting here as well that this one's already putting roots out. And I just have it in the air.
That is super cool.
Yeah, that's why I love these plants. They're really strong plants. They're very resilient, and you can give them some pretty tough conditions and they want to survive. That's why you take it out of the soil, it wants to survive. It's going to throw some roots out. It's going to try to find some water to pull from.
Ah, yeah, they can be neglected.
Yeah,
And the
on it. Honestly, that's why, and that's why a lot of people like succulents. They say you don't have to worry about them a lot. The only thing with all plants, you gotta just kind of keep an eye on them. Their main thing, the main pest I deal with is mealy bugs. Um, that's the most difficult pest that I get. We don't get thrips or spider
mhm.
mites, but mealy bugs are very strong with succulents.
And then what do they do? They just start eating the leaf, or just eating out the
Um, yeah,
dehydrated.
they will eat the stem from the stem, and they'll be on the underside of leaves,
Okay.
and it's like a white chalky pest, and you'll notice that you might have that pest when it starts growing deformed. You say, uh, well, I don't know if there's any that I could use as an example here, but um, let's see. That I was having some issues not too long ago, so I wanted to see if I had any that were like stretched out or looked funny. But you'll notice that plant is growing kind of funny,
Hmm.
and then it's because something is eating away at it. And instead of it growing nice and tall, it might be growing sideways or, and if you take a closer look, you'll notice, oh man, that's my problem right there.
Okay, good to know. 'Cause I mean, I haven't had any issues so far, but not to
Yeah.
say that.
If you ever do have issues, the treatment I use is there's a product on Amazon called Captain Jack's Insecticidal Super Soap.
Okay.
That is a really good product. When you spray it, you should get them out of the sun though.
Okay.
And there's also I just use 70% alcohol
Ah,
in a sprayer, and it'll kill the mealybugs pretty well. But also you have to get it out of the sun. Um,
cool this.
I have an I have an example here. If you don't get it out of the sun, what happens? So I'll spray them at nighttime, and then I'll try to hit them with water so it comes off. But this is the booby cactus. We all know the booby cactus,
Hmm.
and this one I did not remove from the sun, and it got all sunburnt.
Ah, that's so.
Yeah. What I'm thinking about is just chopping somewhere here, and the top part that still looks nice. I'm gonna start a new plant from there, and then I'll let this one
That's
kind of regrow.
a good way to, give it another life and also fix a little bit of
Yeah.
damage.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. And it'll if I chop it, I'll end up with two plants. So even though it does hurt because I really like that plant, but
Or,
uh, yeah, but it's all good.
hey Simon, so show us if you can your rarest succulent.
Um, so I have this one I bought recently. It's
Oh, nice.
I forget the name, but it's a type of Haworthia.
Huh.
And let's see,
It
I got
propagate.
that one. Eventually I will be able to. It'll grow from the sides. But now this one I bought. This is one of my nicest ones. The coral cactus,
Oh
and
wow,
and
that's
look at the pot that I we got for it is just perfect for it too.
for real. It
Yeah,
matches 100%.
yeah. So that one I've had for like a year or two, and it's just grown beautifully. And that one I got it. It was just a tiny thing, and then now it's grown really nice and grand. Um, Let me see what else I got around here. Oh, this one is variegated Hoya Carry,
Hmm.
the heart leafed Hoya, and I've got it. Oh, let me turn the camera around. Actually, that'll be easier. So it's a variegated heartleaf Hoya, and I've got it going all up my trellis,
Wow.
and so it eventually reaches up to here. It's gonna continue growing these leaves at all these nodes,
Uh huh.
but yeah, and these are all flowers that are going to appear. And got this is an arrangement I made. As of late, I'm making a lot of arrangements to sell, to for gifts. That way, I can still propagate my plants and and kind of save space too. Because rather than just putting them in individual pots, I can actually stuff them all into one pot and save some space because I'm running out of space.
That's awesome. Um,
Yeah.
from all the succulents that you have, which one is the one that you have repeated the most? Or
Repro-
rep-
that would
produced?
be,
I have
well, this is just one of my nice Medusa head. One of the ones that I have reproduced the most, that would probably be the um, baby sunrose. This one is very nice and forgiving. It grows prolifically. Um, I have lots of uh, burro's tail, sedum adolphi, which is the one you have in the pot.
yeah.
This one's very good to multiply as well,
Okay.
and um, and ruby necklace, which is this
Uh,
one here.
nice. I have a few,
Yeah,
and I think kind of looks like that one. You tell me which ones are these, and then you tell me how good they are, if they can be reproduced or. But so I bought this one um, at Aldi's, and it was little, and the leaves would just start falling, and then of course I started reproducing them. So this one, I don't know what the
yeah.
name of it.
That
You know.
one it's kind of blurry, but I think it's a type of ghost plant. So that one's very good at reproducing. You just cut the you could cut the head off or cut the along the stem. You could
Okay.
do the same thing that I do. I put them out to dry and let them grow roots and then put them back into a different pot,
Okay.
and they're very forgiving. So you can chop like the ones on the border and let the babies in the middle grow out, and you'll get a nice full plant as well.
Nice. Cool. What about this one?
And
Oh, sorry. You had something
no,
additional.
I was no, it's fine. Let me see the
I
other.
don't know what this is.
I'm
I
not
just know
even sure.
it's at Aldi's.
That's funny. I'm not sure what that is either. That I think that looks like some sort of maybe calancho, or I have something that might be similar, but it this here,
Uh huh.
but
Looks very similar.
yeah,
It's probably the same.
what it looks like that one it was growing flowers though, so
Hmm.
um if you like you can just eventually you remove the
Hmm.
flowers, and if you cut the top part of it, it'll grow back more branches on the stem.
Nice.
But yeah,
Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos of people chopping off flowers on succulents, and I also wanted to get your take on that because what
yeah.
what are the best practices on that? Is it
So
normal
I
behavior?
I I try to I now since I started having a mealybug problem, and I've gotten more on top of it, but
Mhm.
now I'm cutting a lot of the flowers because the flowers attract pests. Unfortunately, as beautiful as they are,
Okay.
the
Okay.
the reason a flower comes about is because they want the plant to be pollinated. They
Yep.
want to call insects and pests over to pollinate this
Oh.
plant.
Oh wow.
So when I've noticed I have a lot of flowers, I'm having more pests in the garden.
Oh wow.
So as
Good stuff.
beautiful,
Good.
Yeah,
Good to know. I saw
it
such a sad, you know, theme on some succulent lovers because I was like, they're beautiful flowers, but what you bring to the table is, very, very fair. It's important to
yeah.
keep away
I
pests. So
I will keep some of the flowers if it's a beautiful flower like this one I've kept because it's just grown so
yeah,
beautifully on
I had that one.
on
I had that one.
yeah.
It grew twice
Yeah,
from that
it's a ridiculous
beautiful.
looking flower, and I that one I've kept, but
But it
lit
dies out, right? Like
what?
died out on me.
Yeah,
Um,
it'll eventually dry up, and you can actually from the stem here, these flowers, you can take them off and you can propagate them.
huh.
So
But
so here,
what techniques do you use, or what do you do for the propagation? Because I tried it, it didn't work.
I'll let them just dry out. Sometimes I have a table over there that I don't want to show it because it's a mess, but but I'll get like paper plates and I'll write down the name of the plant and I'll pull all the leaves off and I'll write on the paper plate Echeveria dusty rose and I'll put all the leaves on there
Mhm.
and I'll let it sit for a long time and I'll just forget about it. And once I start seeing that they start growing roots back and stuff, the leaf they'll throw pink roots. That's when I'll think about putting them in
Soil.
soil.
And what kind of soil do you use? Any
Um,
mix of coconut or something?
for my plants, the propagation plants, I use coconut coir
Okay.
and perlite is my main additive, and I use a slow release fertilizer. There's some specific for succulents, but the one I use is just one I bought at any store. Let's see here. So it's some pellets like this, and
Mm-hmm. Okay.
and I'll add that into the soil because coconut coir doesn't really have nutrients, but coconut coir is excellent for drainage and perlite as well.
Okay.
Um, I'll add some of this stuff in here, the systemic granules.
Nice.
That's really good for pest control. It the plant absorbs it, and if any pest eats the plant, they will they'll die because it's a systemic pest control.
Oh
The
wow.
plant, yeah. The only thing is if you have a flowering plant and you use that, you gotta be careful with the pollinators because if a bee goes on that and pollinates it or a butterfly,
Ooh,
they can die as well.
ooh.
So
Oh wow.
if you use
That
systemic, yeah, you should cut the flowers if you use systemic stuff because then you don't want to kill something that was just trying to do its job, right?
right.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
Good to know. Hey, so I think we're pretty much on time. Before we conclude this podcast, I do have a game I like to play. It's called ping pong with, and then you say your name. So I say ping, you say pong. I say
Yeah,
with, and then you say your name. Time.
gotcha.
Then I just ask you rapidly a few questions, just generic, to let your audience get to know you,
Hmm.
and um, just a little game here. So let's start. Ping
Pong,
with
Simon.
perfect. So what's your favorite plant?
My favorite plant would be succulents, but Echeveria succulents.
I'm starting to liking it too.
Yeah.
uh, let's see. Where do you like to unwind?
In my backyard, really, this place is where I like to hang out. I could just take a look and go through my plants, observe them, repot them. It's really relaxing here.
Awesome. Uh, what makes you laugh?
Um, um, my baby, she's funny, and hanging out with my family, everybody, we're all a good time. So laughing with them. I work over at the hospital, and laughing with my coworkers too. We always have a good time. It's crazy work, but we have a good time over there.
Awesome. Uh, what do you prefer, beach or mountains?
Um, the beach.
Awesome. Any hobbies outside of gardening?
Uh, really no, just playing FIFA. That's hanging out, playing FIFA, and relaxing on my days off. I like to do stuff around the house, handyman stuff, um, building, but just gardening and relaxing really.
Nice. Good. What's your favorite food?
Um, I like sushi a lot.
Nice. What motivates you every day?
Um, just to do well. Pretty much the how blessed we are to live on this earth. You know, be more that we're extremely fortunate to have good health and be able to do the things we do. So that's the thing that really motivates me to.
I think I lost.
Mhm.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I didn't catch that
Oh,
the last part.
I lost the signal for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Or, but you're back.
Okay. No, I said the things that I enjoy most is just having good health and that's what I'm most thankful for. And and
Nice.
with good health you can do whatever you want.
So true. Um, dream travel destination.
So, uh, ever since I've been getting into plants, I really want to go to South Africa.
Really,
Because that's where the best succulents are.
really. Now I want to go
Yeah.
there. And a superpower you'd like to have.
Um, I think it's not really a superpower. People can have it, but um, I would say speaking every single language would be pretty much a superpower.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Awesome. So thank you so much for joining us. Hey, if you want to take a few moments and welcome anybody that's watching us right now or that will watch the video after we post it, about your page and just a brief
Mhm.
message for anybody.
Um, I just want to say thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you for having me on because honestly, I enjoy talking about plants as you can see, and I'm happy to have the plant community and everybody that's so nice. It's an awesome community to be a part of, and just thanks everybody. Follow me on Gulf Coast Succulents. My I post mainly on my Instagram, but I have TikTok and Facebook as well. I'm in Southwest Florida, but I go to Miami all the time. If you ever want to get an arrangement or something pretty, I can make that happen. Let me find a nice arrangement for you to see.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So this is one of one of the some of the arrangements I make. So
That's beautiful.
um
That's how many species do you have? How many succulents do you have? Like six,
yeah,
seven?
yeah, in the pot, I usually put 5 to 6 of them.
Okay.
Yeah, so um, I just want to say thank you to everybody for supporting, and I hope everybody goes out and buys a succulent after today.
For real, yeah, same here. I'm gonna go and buy a few too, just because I've seen a few that I liked from your repertoire.
Yeah, for sure. Let if you ever have any questions or anything, send me a message. Send me a picture if you have problems with your plants. Pictures are good to diagnose everything. Succulents, they're very hardy, but remember they don't take care of themselves. Just gotta keep an eye on them, and then they'll pay you back for that.
For real,
Yeah,
thank you, Simon. Thank you for the time
wonderful.
for this
Thank you,
conversation. Thank you for
thank you
sharing.
so much. Have a wonderful day, okay? And happy Easter.
Thank you too. Happy Easter. Take care.
All right,
Thank
you're
you.
welcome. Bye.